All right. Welcome back to Eyes Open Media. Prophet John here. Hope you guys are doing well. All right. So yesterday we talked about when is the stock market going to crash, and we were trying to figure it out that if are they going to stop in April for tax returns or limit the QE in April? Well, the Fed said here that they're not stopping anything. They're not stopping anything. We are about to see debt like we've never seen it before. And so this is kind of weird, okay? Because if you're in, as the president says, all-time highs in economy, in jobs, in performance, and farming and sectors and all types if you're at all-time highs and record breaking and all these things that the president said himself at the State of the Union and has said himself on Twitter, then why in the world would you even consider quantitative easing? Matter of fact, why would you even consider repo? Why are the banks struggling if everything's at all time highs? Why are the banks struggling for liquidity if everything's at an all time high? Hmm, what's going on? Why is the president of the United States saying one thing out of his mouth, and why are the Fed saying one thing out of their mouth, but yet we see for ourselves that it's the complete opposite of what they're doing in action. Hmm. And you guys saw the article that said that they printed $6 trillion in 6 weeks. And since September, they've probably printed over $10 trillion in repos and for liquidity, and then some of that money has been injected into the stock market. Why would you have to do that if everything is all-time highs? Why would you have to do that if everything is good, right? Why would you have to do that if everything's okay? So we were saying that everything's okay, but we're acting like everything is crashing because this is you only do QE when things are crashing. You only do QE to stop things from crashing. So what is crashing, President Trump? What is crashing, Jerome Powell? Because you're doing QE, and only people only do QE when they're suffering to try to get liquidity and trying to get the markets back up. But you said we're at an all-time high. Well, you said that we our job rate at all-time high. Economy's at breaking record all-time highs. The private sector, the public sector, transformation and communications and consumer goods and retail and real estate, everything's at all-time high and booming. But yet you have to continue to print billions of dollars into the economy. Hmm. I don't have a I don't have a master's in finance or a PhD in finance, but I got a brain and two eyes, and I got a mind, and I got something called common sense, and I can figure out that if we have to print money out of thin air to save the economy and to save the banks every single day. I think yesterday they did $758 billion in bank bailouts and repos yesterday night, just so the banks can survive for another 24 hours. I don't think now that is from September when they were doing about 30 billion a night, 40 billion a night. They've already gone from 30, 40 billion a night in repos to almost $1 trillion in repos. September, October, November, December, January, and we're in February. So 5 months and some change, we went from about 30 to 40 billion dollars in repos to now having to do almost $1 trillion in repos a night so the banks can survive. Hmm. Something tells me a crash is coming very soon. as we toot as we toot our own horns in the poll, not me, but they toot their own horns and how great America is and how great life is, how great things are, how great people's 401ks are. But in the background, we're almost at $1 trillion a night in repos just so the banks can survive. And we have to inject 30 to 50 billion dollars a day into the stock market so it doesn't crash. Wow. Who's going to call us out on this? I wonder if China's going to call us out on this and say, I don't think the problem with China calling us out on it is that they're doing the same thing. At least right now they are. Remember, they made their announcement because of the coronavirus and their markets were crashing. They made the announcement that they're going to print 1.2 trillion won to stop the markets from crashing. Remember that? And so they've been green since then. They're also pumping billions of dollars, maybe 5 billion a day into their markets to keep it from crashing. And if they have to go longer because the coronavirus is still spreading, then they'll go longer. They'll announce another $1 trillion or a trillion, yuan or won, whatever the currency is called, Chinese yuan. They'll print another trillion won to keep it from crashing and continue to maintain, even though, you know, well, they have forced people back to work, but if you see some of the videos, it's horrifying. They're out there. I mean, I just seen a video that I shouldn't have saw. People jumping out of windows, people jumping out of buildings, people being shot by quote unquote nurses and doctors that are fully um, fully protected themselves. They have like from head to toe, they're in protective gear, but yet and they have armed weapons on them, and they're literally going around town. And if they find you, without a mask on, or they find you just walking around or outside, or literally shooting you to death. Or and dragging you into vans and stuff to be quarantined. If you deny, then you will be killed. Yeah, that was disturbing. So I didn't even think I was. Oh my goodness, it's terrible. That's what's going on in China, right? And so it's just terrible, man. I don't know who's gonna stop this. Who's gonna stop the Feds from printing? Now, Kevin in Telegram group said that there's a lost video out there that he can't find and I can't find and no one can find. Matter of fact, let me go to Telegram right now while I'm speaking to you guys because Tony just posted something and I want to see if this is it. Let me see if this is it. Let me see if Tony has found it. Australian banks are preparing to bail in retail bank deposits. Oh gosh, everybody is doing bail-ins and QE and repos. It's not looking good for the world. If things are so great, why are we print? Why in the entire world is printing billions of dollars of debt and debt and debt and debt and debt? Which makes the central bank stronger and stronger and stronger because that's their motto is debt. Enslaving the people into debt. That's their motto. So when we go and we print and we print and we print, all we're doing is giving the central bank more power. Because that's their whole identity is debt. The Fed dollar is a debt. You have to pay. It's supposed to be paid back. It's not real money. It's a debt, right? The Federal Reserve note is a debt, not money. Gold is money. Silver is money. Okay. Fiat currency is not real money. It's a debt. I wonder why Bitcoin is now being used and Litecoin are now being used as money. And of course, the feds and the people who run the fiat system hate cryptocurrencies because cryptos are being used as money, and they don't believe that that's those things are money because they want you to be using the debt money, right? The thing that they call money, which is actually a debt. See how that works? The people running the fiat system don't want you to use cryptocurrencies because they want you to use the debt. Because the more people use the debt and the more debt that they put out to the world, the more power they have. Because now they have people under control. They got you under student loan debts. You're under real estate debt. You have credit card debt. You have child support debt. You have all these debts. You have personal loan debts. You have a car loan debt. All the world is enslaved by debt, which gives them power and control. So Powell says that the Fed will aggressively. I thought we were at record highs. And I thought we were at world, I thought everything was. I thought the economy was the best ever. And yet we have the federal, the Fed here saying that he's going to aggressively use QE. Have you ever seen an economy that's been at the top, and the economy breaking records, and the Fed come out and say that he's going to aggressively use quantitative easing and print trillions of fake money to make sure that he fights the next recession? Have you ever heard something like this in the history of your life? No, you haven't. I'll answer it for you. No, you haven't. You've never heard this before. That a president can say that all the things are at all-time highs and everything is the best it's ever been, and yet the Fed says we're going to print trillions of dollars to fight the next recession. Oh my God. We can't be this. We can. The American people are. If the American people are this dumb, like you got to start questioning yourself. Like, they really think we're this dumb. They really think that we're this dumb. Because you can go to the Federal Reserve site and see that they're doing repos and they're also pumping billions of dollars in the stock market. It's on their site. But yet they act like we can't see those things when there's public information right on their site. Hmm. So they're going to continue to say that the economy is the best ever, but yet tell you that they need to print trillions of dollars just so the markets don't crash. And you're going to believe that everything's okay. Until you see everything crash, then you can be like, what happened? And then the Fed's going to tell you, well, we told you that we have to print billions of dollars, didn't we? So they got you either way. So you're going to either believe that the economy is at a great all-time high and nothing's wrong, but then they also tell you that they have to print billions of dollars every day. So they cover themselves on both sides. So that if you believe that everything is great and then the markets crash, they get to lean on the side that, hey, the Feds told you that they were printing billions of dollars. Why didn't you heed the warning? You see how that works? They cover both sides. The only person that gets screwed is you. Right? The only person that's going to get screwed is you because they covered both sides. Donald Trump saying everything's great. The Fed's telling you that they have to print trillions of dollars just to keep the banks alive and the markets from crashing. They covered both sides. They told you about it. So the only person when things do crash that's going to be responsible for their 401ks going to zero and all this other stuff is going to be you. You see how the game works? No, they don't lose. You do. you know, and so that's terrible. Now, of course, if you don't play the game, you don't. Nothing's gonna, happen to you if you don't play the game. If you're independent, if you're running your own business, if you're running your own stuff, if you have money saved up, if you have your gold and silver, if you're in the four stocks, if you have the cryptos, that we've talked about, if you have Zion oil and gas, if you have the things, if you have other investments that are doing well for you and other incomes, and you don't have to play the game, guess what? You win. You win. But see, they don't want you to win. They want you to be somebody that works 9 to 5 and relies on them so that you lose, right? Because they're gonna win. So that means somebody has to lose. So if they're gonna win, if Trump says he's gonna always win, somebody has to lose. Right? If the Fed say that they're going to win even in the crash, then somebody has to lose because there can't be two winners, right? And it's usually the people that lose because the people believe the president. But yet the Fed are telling you that we got a big problem on our hand here. It was like the fire's going off and everything's fine, and this man is talking about the next recession, but yet everything is at all-time highs. Think about that. And he wants to aggressively do QE. Have you no you've never heard somebody say that in the history of America. That at all-time highs, we're going to aggressively go after the Q. We're going to go after the recession with QE aggressively. But we're at all-time highs and everything's good. What are you talking about? Fed, are you predicting that we're about to go into a recession? Or do you already know we're in recession, but you can't say anything? Right? You already know that we're in a crash, but you can't say anything. Maybe you're telling us the truth here about a recession that is taking place right now, but yet we're covering it up with the president of the United States of America that's tweeting and always saying that everything's at all-time highs. Because they cannot let you know, the people know, that we're in a crash right now. Okay. So, anyways, there you go. Fed chairman says central bank will use forward guidance communication with markets about interest rate plans. So they said they weren't going to do interest rates this year. Now they're starting to talk about interest rates again. How things have changed, right? They have no plans on stopping QE. The only thing, and look what I put on the top here. You guys can see, because this is the only thing that's going to stop QE. Nobody will stop the Fed but God. That's it. They will print forever if they can. And that's because other countries are printing. So now there's going to be every country is going to print money out of thin air. Let's see which country does it the best, right? Every country's going to print until the whole system collapses and crashes. And then we have to go to a new system, right? The soaring 20s, where everybody prints until we can't print no more. All right. Well, some of you guys think that they're going to print all the way to the elections, and then Donald Trump's going to say enough with the printing, and boom, we go down and we crash. But there's also people that says, that's not going to happen because Donald Trump and the feds are saying that after the elections and Trump wins, they're going to even print even more for the next 4 years. Donald Trump does not want a crash on his terms. He will print even more in the next 4 years. That's what some people are saying. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. So if that's the case, we're gonna just go up. We're gonna go 30,000 down. We're gonna go 35,000 down. We're gonna go to 40,000 down. We're gonna go to 50,000 down, and we're gonna go to 55,000 down. By the time Donald Trump is done in his 4 years, and we continue to print, and there's no interference by God, we're literally gonna be at 80,000 down. right? And then the next person's going to come in. And if the next person is Donald Trump Jr., he's not going to want to crash on him as well. We're going to go to 100,000 down. And it's just for 20, 30 years, there's going to be no crash because Donald Trump Jr., Ivanka Trump, no one's going to want, no presidency is going to want the crash to happen on their terms. But the problem with that is that we were supposed to have a reset, remember? There is supposed to be a global reset that is happening right now that deals with that puts us in a new system without debt and printing of money, and we move into a system of accountability, a system of real markets, real numbers. Remember that? Remember Donald Trump talking about that his first year? What happened, Donald Trump? you know, I want a system. I want a world where we have real values and real value of currencies and backed by gold and silver. And what happened to that, Donald Trump? Oh, and some people say, well, that's still coming. It's still going to happen. It's going to happen in the second term. Okay, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see about that because there is news that the Feds are going to continue to print and print and print and print and print. Something is going to have to stop them. I wonder what that's going to be. I don't know. I'm gonna try to find that Kim Clement video, the lost video. I've never seen that video of Kim Clement saying that Dow 30,000 and then a crash will happen. I've never seen that video. I've never even heard of that video. So if that video is out there, then that's gonna be crazy. Because if Kim Clement said that 30,000 then a crash is gonna happen, that's cool. Because I've been saying I said that last year. I didn't even know Kim Clement had a video out about it. I've never seen that video. I don't even know the video even exists. Maybe Kevin's lying to us. okay, who knows? But last year I said the White House wants 30,000. Well, I guess they're gonna print their way up to 30,000. That's exactly what they did. They're doing right now. Print their way to 30,000, and maybe after 30,000, we'll see a 50% correction back to 20,000, and then maybe we'll see some type of revaluation. I don't know. We'll see. Who knows? But yeah. Powell says that the Fed will aggressively use QE to fight the next recession, but everything's at all-time highs. Everything's supposed to be good to go. The economy's better than ever. Hmm. These two don't make sense, but they're doing it on purpose because they're going to cover both sides so that you can only blame yourself when a crash happens. Peace out. God bless, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Eyes open. Bye.